Have you ever wondered what it means to fall in love with a creature that might not be human at all? In Korean folklore, that question is not just poetic, it's a warning. If you can't listen to the full story now, save this episode and follow the channel, so you don't miss what's coming next. The Nine-Tailed Fox, Part 1. Long before the neon lights of Seoul lit up the sky, before skyscrapers towered over the Han River, Korea was a land of mist-covered mountains, dense forests, and ancient beliefs passed through whispered stories. Among these, one legend has endured for centuries, the tale of the Gumiho, or nine-tailed fox. The Gumiho is no ordinary fox. According to Korean tradition, a fox that lives for 1,000 years can transform into a beautiful woman, but this transformation comes at a price. The Gumiho often needs to consume the energy or hearts of humans to maintain her human form. In many tales, she's portrayed as dangerous, even deadly, but in others, she is tragic, yearning to become truly human through kindness and love. This paradox of beauty mixed with danger and humanity, blended with monstrosity, is what makes the Gumiho so fascinating. The earliest references to fox spirits in Korea date back to the Samguk Yusa, a 13th century collection of legends and historical accounts. Yet similar creatures appear across East Asian cultures. In China, there is the Hulijing. In Japan, the Kitsune. Each has different characteristics, but all share one core idea, that foxes are magical, shape-shifting beings closely tied to nature, time, and female power. And in Korea, the Gumiho is often tied to the moon and the shifting cycles of night and shadow. Her 9 tails symbolize the depth of her transformation and magical abilities. In some stories, she is a predator. In others, she is misunderstood. And in rare versions, she becomes human not through violence but by protecting those she loves. One of the most well-known stories tells of a young man who meets a mysterious woman in the forest. She is kind and graceful, with an otherworldly beauty. They fall in love. But as the full moon rises, strange things begin to happen in the village. Livestock are found lifeless. People feel drained and afraid. Whispers of a fox spirit begin to spread. This tale, like many others, asks a deeper question. What does it truly mean to be human? And can a creature born of magic and instinct choose love over survival? Part 2 coming next. Follow the channel to continue this story and discover how legend meets longing in the heart of Korea's most mysterious spirit. The Nine-Tailed Fox, Part 2. As the whispers in the village grew louder, so did the doubts in the young man's heart. He wanted to believe the woman he loved was exactly who she claimed to be, a gentle, solitary traveler seeking peace. But the timing of her arrival and the strange misfortunes surrounding them were too precise to ignore. If you haven't yet, follow the channel so you don't miss the next chapter of this timeless legend. Determined to uncover the truth, he set out one night to follow her. He moved quietly through the forest, guided by the silver light of the moon. What he saw changed everything. In a clearing, beneath a tree twisted by age and weather, the woman knelt in silence. Her shadow shimmered and shifted. Slowly from behind her, 9 long flowing tails unfurled, glowing faintly in the moonlight. Frozen with fear and awe, he watched as she placed her hands on the earth. She seemed not monstrous but sorrowful. Her eyes closed. A soft chant escaped her lips. Around her, the wind stilled, as if the forest itself was listening. He realized she wasn't taking life, she was giving something back. The next morning, the villagers found their missing animals unharmed, returned to the fields. The air felt lighter. The crops, long starved by drought, stood taller. Rumors spread again, this time of miracles. But the young man stayed silent. He knew what he had seen, and he knew she had chosen compassion over hunger. Still, the legends were never simple. According to some versions, a Gumiho who avoids harming humans for 100 days can become truly human. But any betrayal, any suspicion, could break the spell. Love alone was not enough. Trust was everything. So each night he returned to the clearing, not to spy but to wait. He would sit near the tree and speak softly even if she did not appear. He told her stories, of the village, of his childhood, of how he had once feared foxes, and how now he wasn't so sure what he feared at all. One evening she stepped into the clearing, not as a fox, not as a myth, but as herself. human in shape, uncertain in spirit. Her voice was barely above a whisper when she asked if he still saw her the same way. What he answered would determine the end of their story. Follow for Part 3 to discover whether love can truly tame a legend. The Nine-Tailed Fox, Part 3. The clearing was quiet as her question hung in the air. Do you still see me the same way? The young man looked into her eyes. He saw fear, hope, and something older than both, a longing to belong. Slowly, he nodded. Not because he understood everything, but because he chose her in all her mystery. If this story has moved you, save it now so you can return anytime and share it with someone who loves ancient tales and timeless questions. The Gumiho took a step closer. Her feet touched the earth gently, as if testing whether she had truly crossed into the human world. A breeze rustled the leaves above them. The moment felt fragile, like a thread that could snap with a single word. In some versions of the tale, this is where the magic ends. The Gumiho becomes human. She and the man marry, they grow old together. Their pasts fade like fog under the morning sun. In others, a single doubt ruins everything. A neighbor's suspicion, a broken promise, a whispered insult, and the Gumiho disappears forever, leaving only a memory behind. But in the oldest versions, the story is not about reward or punishment. It is about balance. The Gumiho is a mirror of nature, beautiful, wild, unpredictable. She teaches that humanity is not about blood or body, but about choice, about how we act when we have the power to hurt but choose not to, when we are feared yet choose to love. In Korean shamanic tradition, fox spirits were sometimes honored, not just feared. They were seen as guardians of knowledge and transformation. Their tales, especially the ninth, symbolized wisdom earned over centuries. A fully awakened Gumiho was not a threat, but a keeper of truth hidden from those too quick to judge. So what happened to the young man and the Gumiho? Some say she stayed, that she walked into the village one morning with him by her side, and no one dared question her again. Others say she vanished in the wind, and he spent the rest of his days returning to the clearing, telling her stories no one else could hear. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. In a world that still fears what it cannot name, the legend of the nine-tailed fox reminds us that not all monsters are meant to be hunted. Some are simply waiting to be seen. If you enjoyed this journey into Korean folklore, like this episode to support the channel. Save it to revisit later and explore the playlists for more mythical stories from around the world. Check out the most recent uploads too. There's always another legend waiting to be discovered.